Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a chit chat get ready with me. I haven't done one of these in a while where I just sit down and talk to you guys and play with makeup, but today we have a lot of new goodies to test out. Some of these are going to be first impressions, and then some of these are going to be some things that I've been testing out here and there, and I figured I would show you guys how they apply and give you guys my thoughts on them. Most of the products I'm going to be using I did just recently feature in the haul that I uploaded about a week and a half ago, so Sigma, Colourpop, stuff like that. And then also really exciting, I recently went to TJMaxx and I found some high-end goodies for a really great price, like a steal honestly. So I'm gonna be showing you guys those finds as well. Just we're gonna chat, hang out, have some fun, and do this makeup look. So I really hope that you guys enjoy seeing this video. I know it's gonna be a long one, so definitely make sure to sit back, relax, grab a snack, get ready together, whatever you guys feel like. Also make sure you guys are subscribed before you leave, and if you want to see how to get this look that I'm wearing right now, keep on watching. So I just went ahead and zoomed you guys in so we could start working on the eyes. My brows are already done. I didn't have anything new to try out for my brows, but I do want to go ahead and test out an eye primer. I don't use eyeshadow bases a lot. I usually just use concealer, but I figured we'd test this on one eye today and then concealer on the other eye like I normally do. So this is the Sigma Shadow Base Primer in the shade Persuade. They just recently sent me this and I'm really intrigued to try it out. I see a lot of people using stuff like this. I know Kat Von D kind of had one like this, her Locket Shadow Stick I think it was called, but I've been really intrigued to try this out. Like I said, I haven't really ever used a stick base like this, and I really haven't used eye primers in general in a long time. I'm a little nervous that it's gonna be dark. I don't know if you guys can see, it's a little bit more on the cool tone, almost pink side. I usually like something a little bit more brightening and yellow tone, but I figured let's just test it out. Maybe it'll be a little bit more sheer on the eyes. I am still going through like a little bit of a skin thing. I can't seem to shake this eczema that I have going on, so if you guys see any like bumps or anything on my lids or on my face, that is what it is. But I'm gonna try my best to work over that and let you guys know if any like inconsistency you see is in the product or if it's just like the bumps that are on my skin right now. I think that really did a good job at evening everything out, and it doesn't feel too drying, but it has definitely a tacky feel. So I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and set that. I know a lot of people like working on top of tacky bases, but personally for me, I find that oh my god, I can't say that sentence. But personally for me, the sticky base just never works. I find that I just prefer a nice powdered base. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set this eye, because when I open my eye, I feel my lid kind of sticking to itself. That definitely feels much better now that it's set. It was really sticky. I can't explain it. I felt like my eyelid was like getting stuck to each other when I opened my eye, but definitely feels much better with powder on. It does feel a little heavy on the lid, but I'm curious to see how it holds up under shadow. But for the other eye, I'm gonna go in with my new Colourpop No Filter Concealers. Like I said, concealer set with powder has just been my favorite and easy way to prime my lid, and I have tried these Colourpop concealers before, but I don't think I've used them on camera, so I'm gonna be using them today. But so far these have been really amazing concealers in my opinion, and I find nothing wrong with them. So for my lid, I'm gonna take the shade Light 16 and just apply that all over as a base for shadow. Then just gonna go and set that concealer side as well. And just to set, if you guys are wondering, I'm using my Anastasia contour kit, that middle banana shade, which is well loved. I definitely would say, looking at the Sigma primer, it does look a little bit closer to my skin tone, but I just feel like I'm so used to having something more brightening and a little bit more yellow tone. That's what I just prefer on my lid, and this is just a little bit more pink and, like I said, just closer to my skin tone, but it's definitely not what I'm used to. But we're gonna go ahead and test that out. So now moving on to shadow, I have a lot of Sigma stuff in here today. I have the Sigma Warm Neutrals Volume 2. This is what we're gonna be using for eyeshadow. I was so excited when I opened this because I've seen this palette on their social media and it's just so gorgeous. I think it's going to be perfect for fall. Lots of these colors are right up my alley, nice and warm. We have some like reddish shades, the olive green. You guys know how I feel about olive green, and I figured maybe it would go with my fancy shirt today. I'm wearing some of my new clothes. I am going to be doing a clothing haul of all of this stuff, so hopefully you guys will see that soon. But I think that this will go really cute with my shirt today and we could come up with something fun. So I'm going to be using this. I think I'm first going to go in with the shade Toasty, which is this shade right here, just like a classic warm transition shade in my crease. So far that's blending out really nicely, and I also really love this shade. So let's see how this goes on top of the new primer. I would definitely say the shadow that's on the Sigma side is pulling a little bit more of like a red, whereas the one that's on the concealer is pulling just a little bit more neutral and true to color, in my opinion. Like, since the primer is so pink, I almost feel like it's turning the shadow pink, but maybe it's just that shade since it is so light. But as far as application goes, I think that it is blending out so seamlessly and it's not patchy at all. It's a really, really saturated but easy to work with transition. Now concentrating a little bit more in the crease, I'm gonna go in with the shade Henna, which is like a classic warm chocolatey brown right there. I'm gonna mix it in a little bit with Toasty and run that a little bit lower and more concentrated in my crease. There's not much fallout on the pan. I definitely have to blow out a little bit of kickback, but it's nothing crazy. Nothing that would turn me off from the palette or that I'm not used to. These matte shades are blending out beautifully, you guys, so seamlessly. I am so impressed with the quality of these shadows. I feel like they're blending into each other so easily, but they're not muddy and you could still see distinctly what color you put where. Like, it's not overpowering. It's just so perfectly blended right now. I'm so happy. But now I want to go in and play it with some of these olive green shades. So I think I'm going to take the shade After Hours and build this up on the outer half of my eye because I just love olive green and I've never really used an olive green shadow before. So pretty. I love that. Just really packing that on the outer corner, and then I'm going to go blend the edges after. That's actually blending really nicely, and I find that I'm not losing too much of the color. Sometimes I feel like blue shades and green shades, they're really pigmented when you first pack them on, but then when you blend them, all that intensity tends to kind of just blend away. But I feel like I'm not getting that with this shade. I still feel like you could really see the olive green. I know it looks crazy. I definitely have to go ahead and clean up the outer corner, but I'm really impressed with this palette, you guys. Now we have all of our matte shadows down. I did just go ahead and clean up and sharpen up the edges. I want to go in and brighten up the look a little bit and add a metallic. So I was going back and forth between Fool's Gold and Bittersweet, but I think I'm gonna go in with Bittersweet just because you guys know I like more of a bright metallic look in my inner corner, and then maybe I'll play around with Fool's Gold like in the middle or on my lower lash line. But first I'm gonna go in with Bittersweet. So right off the bat, this is definitely a shadow that you would want to go in with your finger over a dry brush, but I do want it to be a little bit more precise, so I think I am gonna go in with a little bit of Fix Plus on my brush just so I could get that really sharp edge that I like on the top of my lid. But with the finger, if you just want to throw on this shade, that's how it works best. Alright, so the lid shade is on. I definitely think that's really pretty. It was really easy to work with. Like I said, if you just want to throw it on, the finger works great, or the wet brush for like a little bit more of the precise application. But I really like that shade. I think I'm going to try to lighten it up a little bit though, just on the inner third of the eye. So I'm going to try taking the shade Beaming, which is up here. I wish they had a little bit more of a light gold in this palette, but I think that this will work. I'm just gonna take this on the same brush, a little bit damp with Fix Plus, and then just on the inner third of the eye, trying to lighten it up a little bit. And then to highlight my brow bone, I'm gonna take the shade Humble. I don't think that this is totally matte. I think it has very, very minimal shimmer in there, but it pretty much is a matte, if anything, maybe more like a satin. So I'm just gonna take this on my Sigma E70 medium angled shader brush and just buff this right under the brow bone and kind of blend it down into the transition shade. Sigma did also send one of their gel liners. This is their long wear gel eyeliner in the shade Wicked. I was gonna go ahead and use this, but honestly I haven't used gel liner in so long, and whenever I do wear top eyeliner or wear a wing anymore, I never really like it, and I just feel like I'm liking this eyeshadow too much to chance ruining it. So I think I'm gonna save this for another video or another eye look, but I just wanted to show you guys what this looks like real quick because I know in that haul video I couldn't get the box open. This is what it looks like. Sigma packaging is so cute. It has the holographic logo and then it is sealed, but it's just like your classic black gel liner. But like I said, I think I'm scared that I'm gonna ruin this look, so I want to have some practice with this and then maybe I will come back and do another look using this liner. So I just went ahead and did my mascara off camera. You guys know I use my favorite Maybelline Total Temptation. I do have to go ahead and clean it up on the lids a little bit, but I'm gonna work on the face in the meantime while that has a chance to dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Face Primer. I have used this a couple times before and I do really like it. When I first opened this primer, I thought something was wrong with mine because the hole on the primer is so big. I thought like someone pulled out like a stopper or something, but I asked someone else that I know has this primer and she said that hers is the same way, so you definitely have to be careful when you dispense this. I don't know if you guys can really see, a lot of product comes out. When you first squeeze this out of the tube, it looks like it's going to be like a literal liquid highlighter. So I was a little bit nervous to try it, but this is actually really pretty on the skin. So if you guys can see when I kind of spread it around, it is like a really shiny primer, but it just blends into the face, really transparent, but it gives the most beautiful glow to the skin. As you guys can see, I'm so dewy right now. My face actually looks wet. It has such an intense glow to it. I have really been liking this primer. As far as like the longevity of my makeup and stuff like that, I haven't really been blown away or seen like a huge difference in my makeup lasting longer, but I just really like applying this underneath, especially if I'm using more of a matte foundation, because you guys know I like a satin finish to my foundation. This will really transform a matte foundation. But as far as like smoothing out any imperfections or filling in my pores, I don't find that it does that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and top this off with the Maybelline Master Prime. This is the Blur and Pore Minimize. I just find that this really smooths my pores out and any texture, and it goes really nice on top of the Wet n Wild one. Just gonna throw my hair back for a few minutes while we do the face, just so I don't get foundation or anything like that in my hair. But I want to use a little bit more of a mattifying foundation today, just because that primer underneath is so dewy. So I'm just gonna go in with my Fenty Pro Filter foundation. I really love this foundation. You guys know it is one of my tried and true, and I'm in the shade 190. So I'm just gonna really quickly skip through doing this because you guys have seen me do my foundation 100 times. I'm gonna use my L'Oreal Face Blender sponge. For concealer, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be using the Colourpop No Filter Concealers. I can't believe how long it took me to finally get these concealers and try them out. I love these so much. I have been testing them out since I uploaded that haul, and these are absolutely incredible. I cannot believe how amazing the coverage is, and these are only $6. I love the formula. It was really hard to decide on the website. There are so many shades, which is absolutely amazing. Their shade range is great for the No Filter foundation line and the concealer line. I just couldn't decide which shade I would be, so I went with Light 16 and Fair 08. I figured I could always mix them if necessary. Light 16 is a really good match for my skin tone, and I really do like this for under my eyes, but it does tend to oxidize to the point where it just matches my skin tone. So I'm really happy that I have Fair 08, so I could lighten it up a little bit at the bottom to highlight the face and as well as the center of the face. So I'm going to be mixing the two of them together today. I love the applicator. You guys are going to see this just goes on so smoothly. It's a great concealer. Fair 08 might have been a little bit too light on my nose by itself, but I'm gonna go back and fix that up with a little bit of foundation. I think it's drawing a little bit too much attention. Like the front of my nose is a little bit too light. So there's the concealer all done. I love how it looks. It is just like the perfect coverage, the perfect level of hydration. It's not dry, but it's not greasy. I love those two shades mixed together. It's just overall a really good concealer. But before I go ahead and set that, I have one more cream product that I want to try. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow Highlighter. I know that this has been out for a while, but I did recently just find this at TJMaxx. And this was only $9.99 at TJMaxx. I love finding items like this at TJMaxx. I actually have a couple to show you guys in this video. I want to say that these originally are over $20. I could be wrong. Oh, it says compare at 15, so maybe they are 15. I don't know, that seems a little bit low for ABH though, but I will have them linked down below, or the actual price of the product on the screen. But I thought $9.99 was a really good price. This is their full-size liquid glow, and the only one that they had was in the shade Oyster. I think that this is going to be okay for my skin tone, but we will find out. I'm not sure if this is a product that you're like supposed to mix in with your foundation or use it on top, but I'm gonna try to use it on top of my foundation today on the high points on my face. I think I'm gonna try. Something is telling me that I should just try my finger first, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna squirt a little bit of this out on the back of my hand. It's a really pretty, almost like champagne-y peach shade. It almost reminds me of a liquid form of Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pops. So I'm just going to tap this on the top of my cheekbones. Ooh, it feels kind of cooling. It has like a really interesting feeling when you put it on. Ooh, that's really pretty. I love the color of this, and it's actually light enough for my skin tone. You guys, this is so gorgeous. I love how there's so many trucks outside right now. Totally killing my vibe. This is so pretty, you guys. It gives like the most natural glow from within. It's definitely not like a really intense metallic look by any means, even though I feel like it could be built up to that. I think just right on top of foundation, it just gives the most beautiful natural glow. I'm gonna try putting a little bit on my nose and see how that looks. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is almost natural enough to where I could almost put it on other points on my face where I wouldn't normally highlight, like my chin, because it doesn't really have any shimmer in it. It almost just looks like a balm on the skin. Like, it just adds such a nice glow and just a nice level of dewiness. I really like that. Let me put a little bit on my Cupid's bow. I'm so glowy. And this is probably my favorite product that I used today. Well, besides the eyeshadow palette, I think that this is like my favorite product that I used today so far. I am so impressed by the formula of these. You guys definitely check your local TJMaxx or Marshalls, whatever you guys can get like discounted makeup. I know Burlington has discounted makeup nowadays. Try to find a liquid glow. Now let's set all this before my makeup starts melting off, because it's really hot in here with all of my lights and everything, and I'm just the type of person that I have to set my makeup. Whoa, what? Where's my voice? So I have to set my face for sure. For powder, I do have this new Colourpop No Filter pressed powder. I did show this in my haul. I don't really like using pressed powders to set my face. I don't really know why. I've always been into them for blotting. So I don't know if I should try this or just set my face with something that I know is gonna keep this makeup on all day. I think I'm gonna use my tried and true powder today, just because I am testing out like the new primer and the new highlighter. I don't wanna use a powder that's not gonna be strong enough to hold all of that on, if that makes any sense. Maybe I'll use the Maybelline powder just directly underneath my eyes, because I know this is going to keep my concealer from creasing, and then maybe I'll do a light dusting of the blotting powder on top of the translucent powder just to see what kind of finish it has. Maybe we'll try something like that. Look how intense the glow is, even after setting it with powder. That's still shining through. Sometimes when I use a cream highlighter and then I set it, all that shine still goes away, but you could still see it after going in with the loose powder. And now I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Colourpop powder just on the cheeks to see if it really makes any difference. I don't really think it's going to though. Yeah, I don't really see much of a difference. I definitely do have to play around with this on its own. I have used it to kind of touch up my makeup and blot my face, and I have really been liking it. I do have a new bronzer to try out. This is the Stila Stay All Day Contouring Bronzer for the face and body, and I have mine in the shade medium. I also found this at TJMaxx for $7.99 recently. Another awesome find. I swear sometimes it's so hit or miss when I go to a store like that. I could either find literally nothing or stuff that's just like broken and old, or they have really nice products like this. So here's what the compact looks like. Again, this is in the shade medium. I'm not sure if this is actually discontinued, but when I saw this, I couldn't resist it. I just thought it was so pretty. I love how big the pan is, and I thought it would be a nice shade to kind of bronze and contour all in one. I think it is picking up a little bit darker on camera than it actually is in real life, but I hope this is a good formula. I don't want to go overboard, so let's get a little bit on my brush and start bronzing. I definitely want to say that this has a little bit more of like a cool, almost like a camel shade undertone to it, but I really like it. It is a little bit, it's just different, but I like it. I think it's giving my face a nice shape because it is a little bit more cool tone. Maybe it's acting like a little bit more of a contour, but definitely compared to something like my Anastasia Beverly Hills Rosewood, which definitely has a lot more warm tones and redness to it, I definitely would say it's a little bit more camel. But I have to say I do really like how subtle it is, but at the same time I feel like it's really effective at really sinking in this area. So I'm thinking that I might like this more as a contour shade, but honestly it's not bad as a bronzer at all. I think it's really pretty. I'm gonna move on to blush, and I actually found another high-end product at TJMaxx. It is the Kat Von D Shade and Light blush. I do know that these were discontinued pretty much right away. I'm not exactly sure why, but I do know that this retailed for like $25 or more, and this is in the shade Mickey and Mallory, which I know was one of the more popular ones. This is such a sleek compact, you guys. Ooh, wow, and I think this is gonna be really pretty. You guys know I love just like neutral, no blush kind of blushes, just really subtle and natural. I want to try to focus more on the deeper side. I don't think this one's gonna show up on me. Let me do a swatch. Yeah, that's definitely not gonna show up on my cheeks at all, but I think the deeper side is going to work for my skin tone. I think it's gonna be like a really pretty muted peach. So I'm just gonna go in, probably just mix them together. I definitely wouldn't say this is the most beautiful blush that I ever used, but it's definitely something that I see myself using again. Really subtle, really natural, and just gives a little bit of a flush on the cheeks. The lighter shade honestly doesn't show up on me at all. I'm really just focusing my brush on the deeper side, but I think it gave my cheeks a nice color. I don't have any new highlighters to test out, so I'm just gonna go in with some Becca Champagne Pop. I feel like this will just pair really nicely with the Oyster from ABH. Oh wow, they're literally almost the same color. And just really lightly dusting that on top. I definitely don't think I need a lot more highlight because the ABH one was giving me a nice glow, but just to intensify it a little bit more. All right, so now just to finish up the eyes, I'm gonna work on the lower lash line. I'm gonna take that olive green shade and just really gently press that up against my lower lash line, but only on the outer third kind of my eye. And then to blend that out and soften everything up, I'm gonna be taking a mixture of Toasty and Henna, those same warm brown shades. I'm just starting to gently buff this out. I don't wanna take this down too far, so I wanna be cautious of how much I'm blending, because sometimes when I over blend, I end up taking it down really far on the eye. I was going back and forth with what lip to do today because I know that this eye is pretty dark and intense, but I haven't done just like an overall really intense look in a while, so I figured I would use one of my new Colourpop Cream Luxe lipsticks, and this is in the shade Gallop, which is just like the most beautiful deep burgundy with a hint of brown in there. So I think it's gonna look really pretty with this eye look, but I figured why not, we could just test it out. We could always wipe it off if I don't like it. So I'm just going to, ooh, crusty. Ooh, this is such a pretty color. I don't know why I'm trying to do this without a lip liner though. Alright you guys, so here's the completed look. I definitely feel kind of out of my comfort zone right now. I never do like vampy on vampy, but I'm feeling the fall vibes, you guys. Fall is right around the corner. This is totally something that I would wear in the fall, very sultry and just vampy, and I really like how this turned out. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. But really quickly before I go, I just want to give you guys a rundown again and a recap on all of the products we tested out today. Honestly, everything I really enjoyed. Some of the things stood out to me more than others, but I don't think anything in this video was a complete miss for me. So one of my favorites was of course the eyeshadow palette. This thing is so beautiful. I think that the look came out so good. I think the application was so easy and smooth and effortless, and I did not have a problem with any of the shades that I used in this palette today. I think the olive green was gorgeous, the browns blended out smoothly, and then also that bittersweet shade that is on my lid. It's a gorgeous bronze. I think it applied smoothly. So honestly, so far with this palette, I have no complaints, and it is definitely one of the better palettes that I have tried recently. And then another standout product for me was the Liquid Glow. Like I said, I can't believe that I hadn't tried this product sooner. It is such a great formula. I love how it looks on the skin. I just feel like it looks so natural and glowy, and it just has like a gorgeous, beautiful, dewy, wet finish to the skin. It doesn't have any glitter. I have absolutely no complaints about this product. I have a million great things to say about it, and I'm definitely going to be using this again. The Wet n Wild Dewy Primer is another hit for me. It's definitely not the best primer that I've ever tried, but it is the most dewy primer that I've ever tried, and it seriously makes my skin look so dewy. I feel like even now that I have on a really mattifying foundation like the Fenty one, it really gives my skin a nice satin finish and healthy. It's not as dewy as when I first applied it, but it definitely adds a little bit of a liveliness to something as matte as the Fenty foundation. And again, I'm gonna continue to use this. This would look absolutely gorgeous if you just need like a skin pick-me-up if you're wearing no makeup, just to really enhance your skin and make it look nice and glowy and fresh if you're like going to the beach or something. Really great. As far as like makeup lasting on top of it and stuff, I will leave that information in the down bar below. And I do really love these Colourpop concealers. I always heard people saying nothing but good things about them, and now I see why. I think they give the most beautiful coverage and finish under the eye, and for only $6 each, you really can't beat that. As far as the lipstick goes, I love this color. It is the most beautiful like brown deep terracotta shade, and I love the formula of the Cream Luxe lipsticks. Just looking at this upon the application, I definitely think that you need a lip liner with this one because it is starting to bleed outside of my lip line just a little bit. So I think just to play it safe, next time I would go ahead and line my lips. But I don't have any other shade like this in my collection, and I have a lot of lipstick. And another product that I do really like but is honestly not blowing me away is the Stila bronzer. I usually prefer something a little bit more warm, but this is a little bit more on the subtle side for me, and it took a little bit more building. So I feel like if I want to do something a little bit more subtle, this is going to be a great bronzer for that. This is one of the first bronzers that I have tried that I feel like really gives me that effect, that even though I applied the bronzer like I normally would all over my cheeks and my temples, it really just stuck in my contour line really nicely and is defining the face without me actually going in and contouring with a smaller brush. So again, definitely going to keep you guys updated on the bronzer. I think the undertone is just going to be an adjustment, but application and formula was awesome. And again, for $7.99, I think this was a really great find. The Kat Von D blush was good. You guys know I'm not huge into blush, but this is really like a nice subtle no blush kind of blush. The light side doesn't show up on me at all, but I definitely love this deep side that is so up my alley. It was an okay formula. Again, pretty good. It was really discounted at TJMaxx, so I will keep you updated on that. And the last thing that I have to talk to you guys about is the eye primer. I'm a little bit iffy on this because it is really sticky, and I was like, ooh, am I gonna like this? I typically don't like a stickiness like that to my base, but once I set it, I found that it was fine. I do feel like it altered the colors of the shadow a little bit because this is a little bit darker and more pink than my skin tone. I feel like especially up here towards my transition, it's just pulling a little bit more like cool tone pink, whereas this side just looks a little bit more clean and brightened. But as far as the intensity on both shadows, both of them look identical. Both sides look the same as far as like no creasing or anything like that. So I think that this product is something that I'm gonna have to keep you guys updated on as far as like which held up better. Alright you guys, so that is going to complete this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know if you guys have tried any of these products. I would love to know your thoughts on them, if they work differently for you or anything like that. I would just love to know. So definitely leave me a comment down below. And if you guys don't know yet, I am currently hosting a back to school giveaway here on my channel. I believe that is in my last video. I'm not sure what order I'm uploading in, but it should be my last video, which is my back to school beauty and supply essentials. So definitely make sure to go check out that video and enter my back to school giveaway. That ends on August 25th. So you still have time to go enter and maybe have a chance to win some back to school goodies. Definitely make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. I would love to have you guys here as part of my little YouTube fam. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, videos, click that little notification bell down below. That way you'll get directly notified every single time that I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!